Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Middlesex County Virtual College Fair. We are very excited to have you participating in this event this evening. We have quite a few fantastic schools here with us today to talk with you. My name is Clarissa, and I'll be your facilitator this evening. Before we get started, I do have a few housekeeping items for you. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You also have a Q&A button on your screen that you can use to ask questions to our presenters at any time. If you do have a question for a specific school, be sure to mention them within your question. And lastly, this presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Middlesex. Now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our first institution, which is Lafayette College.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jerome Griffin. I'm a senior assistant director here at Lafayette College. I'm going to do my best to break us down within 6 minutes. So we're a small private liberal arts college in Easton, Pennsylvania. Our makeup is about 2,700 students. So your average class size is going to be about 18. Your student to faculty ratio is going to be 10 to 1. What that provides students is an opportunity to have an intimate learning setting in the classroom. We are an undergraduate only institution, so all of the resources that we have on campus is dedicated to your experience. As far as areas of study, we have 58 areas of study, of which the most popular area of study, probably by recognition, is engineering. Most popular by number is economics. However, our top 5 round out neuroscience, biology, and psychology. And it may sound like all we do is STEM, and I could have done a very bad T-Pain joke. I worked on that today. I can't see you, so I don't know if it's gonna hit. But what we really do is give students a foundation of classes through our Common Core study that will help prepare them to be successful whatever endeavor that they choose to go into. Other areas of study that are extremely popular would be our arts programs. We have a dedicated arts campus downtown Easton, as well as a great music building on campus. Some of our interdisciplinary studies areas such as Russian studies, women and gender studies, government and law, Africana studies, as well as some of our traditional history, English, philosophy, those type of things. What we promote is students finding whatever their passions are. So nearly half of our students either have a major or double major and minor. There's a lot of opportunities outside of the classroom as well. Study abroad is a big piece of our experience. Nearly half of our students do that as well. Another big part is research. Even though we're undergraduate only, our professors are still tasked with doing substantial research, and they rely heavily on the undergraduate student. It could be as informal as you connecting with a professor your freshman year and working with some research that they're doing, to as formal as our Excel Scholars program. Beyond the classroom and in the academic experience, Lafayette is filled with clubs and organizations. We have over 200 clubs and organizations that you can choose from. We are Division I athletically, so you can play at the Division I level in the Patriot League. There's a lot of great school spirit. We're a part of one of the oldest rivalries in football. I don't really like to talk about the other school, but we've been playing for 156 years. And this will be the 157th game with Lehigh University, and that's one of the big traditions on campus. Leopards of old come back and always are connecting with current leopards. Some great school spirit, a lot of opportunities for students to kind of continue the things that they're interested in while being on campus. Academically, a very intimate learning setting, learning directly with professors, being taught directly by people who are passionate about, talking about teaching undergraduate students. We're uniquely located. We're about an hour and a half from Philadelphia, about an hour and 15 minutes from Manhattan, so not far from you all. So very uniquely located, which gives students access to two major metropolitan areas for internship opportunities, job opportunities. Our alumni network is very strong in the Northeast, so definitely a lot of connections that you can make there. Quickly before my time runs out, application-wise, we are on the Common App. We try to make our process as personable as possible. So our job is to curate a community and through the things that you put in your application. So your voice, your makeup. Academically, we're going to see what you're doing in high school. We do review holistically. So we'll review in the context of your high school. So challenge yourself in high school, do the best that you can, hopefully taking higher level courses, AP honors, IB if it's available. Beyond that, your teacher recommendations will give us insight on who you are as an individual. College council recommendations as well. As far as deadlines are concerned, we are early decision and regular decision. November 15th is early decision 1. regular decision is January 15th, and early decision is January 15th as well. You do have until February 1st to change your application to early decision 2 if you so choose. Financial aid wise, we are aggressive. We are dedicated to meeting demonstrated need at 100%. Basically, we learn your expected family contribution through the submission of the FAFSA and the CSS profile. And through that, we'll meet the gap between your expected family contribution, if there is one, your expected family contribution and our full cost of attendance with loans, with grant aid, money that you don't have to pay back, and small self-help. So maybe some small loans and work study. I think I've touched on a little bit of everything, but if you take anything home from Lafayette College, this is going to be a community that you're going to be a part of with a wealth of opportunity and resources to ensure that you'll be successful in some point once you graduate from Lafayette. And then our students go on to do amazing things, whether it's grad school, going into the workforce, serving, things like that. And I think that's my 6 minutes, but if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat. Again, my name is Jerome Griffin, the Senior Assistant Director of Admission here at Lafayette College. Hopefully I'll be able to help you a little bit more. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Up next, we have Widener University.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Steve Fadouk. I'm one of the Assistant Directors of Admissions here at Widener University. So quick information about Widener. We are located just outside of the Philadelphia area in Chester, Pennsylvania, so about 10 minutes south of the Philadelphia International Airport. We pride ourselves on having a smaller class size focus with an average class size of around 25 students per class. Our student to faculty ratio is 13:1, and 90% of our faculty hold a doctorate or terminal degree within their field. Big benefit about choosing Widener is for the personal attention. We do not use teaching assistants, graduate assistants, TAs, GAs, whatever you would like to call them, to teach our undergraduate students. So what that means for you guys picking us for at least the undergrad portion is you're learning directly from your professor, who is there for the in-class instruction, office hours, extra help, the whole 9 yards. We have around 3,000 full-time undergraduate students and additionally 2,000 graduate students. And we have over 40 majors and 50 minors. So for our students, they can pick a major or a minor that are related. For example, you may pick a major in finance, but minor in economics. But we've had students that major in nursing and just minor in dance because they have a personal interest in it. So your major or minor can be correlated academically, but it doesn't need to be. So 79% of our freshmen do reside on campus, so we are not a suitcase school by any means. And we do offer two big guarantees at the university. One is that we guarantee housing for all 4 years, and the other is that we allow students, including first-year students, to have a car on campus. Our housing policy is if you live within 25 miles or more from the university, you are required to live on campus for at least 2 years. But having the option to not only live on campus and guaranteed for all 4 years, as well as having a car on campus, you have the ease to get back and forth if need be. So this slide talks a little bit about our application process. So there are 2 ways to apply to the university. One is through the common application and the other is through the Widener application located on our website. Both applications are free and there's no preference on which you submit. The common app is obviously going to go not only to Widener, but to other schools that accept it. The Widener app is going to come to just Widener. So it's really up to you what you decide to submit. We have 2 types of decision. Early action is one and regular decision is the other. Early action means that your application is in and complete by November 1st. Any decision that you receive is non-binding and you'll be guaranteed an admission decision by at least the Thanksgiving holiday. If you don't meet the November 1st deadline for early action, there's no problem there. Students typically would fall into regular decision after that, in which case their application is reviewed within 3 to 4 weeks. For this upcoming academic year for fall of 2022, for any of you who are seniors in the room, we are test optional. So aside from the application, whether that would be the Widener application or the common application, test optional is for both of them. So you are required to submit your high school transcript and the essay portion of the application, or your high school transcript and your SAT or ACT test scores. I do want to mention that if you decide not to submit your test scores, it will not negatively affect your application whatsoever, as we do have a holistic review process in place. And letters of recommendation are optional. However, if you want to submit them, we will gladly add them to your application. And for any of you taking any AP, IB, or dual enrollment credits, we do accept those credits to count for courses at Widener as well. So support services on campus, being a smaller institution, we pride ourselves in offering all types of support services from day one all the way up until a student graduates. And we even start before that. So every student is assigned an admissions counselor within the high school that they go to. So for you guys in Jersey, it will be myself. So we'll work with you throughout the process about answering questions for your application, open house, really anything in between. And like I mentioned, that happens and kind of correlates to once you step foot on campus. So all of these support services that you see on campus are already included in the price of tuition and can be accessed, like I mentioned, from day one till graduation. So you may start out by saying, hey, I don't need to visit the writing center because I'm a great writer. And come senior year, you might work on your senior thesis and realize, hey, maybe a second set of eyes is something I may want to look into. So some outcomes for the class of 2020, 91% of our graduating seniors were employed or within graduate school within 6 months of graduation. And the mean salary for those students who were working was $62,500 per year. And these are two quotes from the two freshmen for the class of 2025, what they had to say about Widener and their feeling to the university. And if you would like to follow us on social media, you can do so at the handle @ChooseWidener for any of the platforms that you see down below. And this last slide brings me to our Experience Campus slide. So we are open for on-campus in-person visits. And I do want to mention and do a call out for our Widener Day open house, which is located and presented on Saturday, November 13th on our main campus. And if that date doesn't work for you, we are open for daily tours Monday through Friday, 2 to 3 times a day. So you can come to campus and get a good experience of what Widener has to offer. So with that, that brings me to the end of my presentation, and I will gladly take questions in the chat, and I'll also pop my contact information in there as well.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Up next, we have the University of Tampa.
Alrighty, sorry about that, everyone. Just some technical difficulties there. Hello and good evening. My name is Nelka D, and I have the absolute privilege of serving as an admissions counselor here at the University of Tampa. And I'm really excited to share with you all some basic information about UT, not just from the perspective of an admissions counselor, but from the perspective of a former student. So here at UT, please note that we are a medium-sized private institution. We are also independent, which means we have no religious or political affiliation. And a hot button question that we get quite often in our office is whether or not there's a difference between in-state versus out-of-state tuition. And the answer to that is no. So regardless of where you're traveling from across the world, just know that there's just one set tuition price that applies to all of our students. We also like to say here at UT that you will experience what's known as the best of both worlds. So we are located in the heart of downtown. And being that we are located in downtown, you will experience the hustle and bustle that happens here. You have easy access to our restaurants, as well as different eateries and the life of downtown. However, here on our campus, we're not interrupted by that a whole lot. As you can see, this is an aerial view of UT. And none of the local busy roads are cutting through our campus. Everything on our campus is relatively within walking distance and primarily accessible to all of our students. We host 20 NCAA Division II sporting teams, and a great resource for this information would be our sports coaches and recruiters, and their information is available on the UT website. And just an update, we are actually now home to about 10,600 students that represent all 50 states and over 132 countries. Now, the academics was something that I was personally excited about during my high school senior experience of applying to the University of Tampa, because we do offer smaller classroom sizes. So our average class size is about 22 students, and you never have to worry about being taught by a TA or a GA. just know that you will always be taught by a professor, and not just any faculty members. On average, 90% of our professors hold a PhD, as well as a terminal degree within their area of study. Now, if you are someone that's undecided, no need to worry. Here at UT, we offer over 200 areas of study to explore. And during your first year, whether you are an incoming freshman or a transfer student, you'll be placed in our first year seminar course that will help you either delve into your declared major, or your professors that are going to serve as a guide will help you navigate your options. Now, here at UT, something else that we emphasize very strongly is something entitled experiential education, just a fancy term for hands-on learning. So throughout many of your courses, depending on your major, you'll have that opportunity to take your courses outside of the classroom. For example, if you're someone that's interested in marine science, you'll have the opportunity to board one of 3 of our research vessels that will take you back and forth to our very own marine field stations. You'll collect your data and your specimen and conduct your research right on site. Likewise, if you are an entrepreneurship student, you'll be able to explore our pitch rooms that was modeled after the show Shark Tanks. Present your pitches in front of your peers as well as investors. As a matter of fact, one of our students in the past year was featured on the show Shark Tank. We also push internships very early on, so our career services office will guide you with resume buildings, mock interview, and even assist you in distinguishing what the most professional attire is to wear. Now, please note that this motto is something, again, that we push strongly: the importance of loving where you live as well as where you learn, regardless of where you elect to study. Here at UT, we offer over 300 clubs and organizations for you to explore, as well as host over 1,000 programs annually. I know that might seem alarming because you want to keep your academics at the forefront. However, students that choose to get involved on average holds a GPA of a 3.6 or higher. What we have also found about our students is that they're quite independent. They also embrace the fact that we are in a metropolitan environment, and they don't need that extra nudge to pursue opportunities for themselves. Now, the fun part: when do I apply and how much is it going to cost to me? Please note that we operate on a rolling admission basis, so it's a first come, first serve. We don't have an official deadline to apply to the University of Tampa. However, we do offer early action periods. The first one is coming up November 15th. The sooner you apply, the sooner you can find out whether or not you've been admitted. Please note that we are also non-binding, so if you get accepted to UT but elect to go elsewhere, that will actually hold no negative impact on you whatsoever. Now, for our incoming freshman students, what's located on the screen now are the items that you will need in addition to your application and your fee to submit this. Please note that we are test optional, so you don't need to present your SAT or your ACT scores at the time that you submit your application. But ensure that your essay is personalized. This is a great platform for you to highlight your involvement as well as your achievements. I want to thank you all so very much for listening to me discuss some of my favorite things about the University of Tampa. There's my contact information there. And as I always like to say at the conclusion of my presentations, go Spartans. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for that presentation. As a reminder to our participants, if you guys have any questions for the schools you're hearing from today, definitely don't hesitate to put those in the Q&A down below. Up next, St. John's University.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, or good evening. My name is Anika Dorsey-Good, Assistant Director of Admissions at St. John's University. And we're gonna get started. So the focus is on you. So a little bit about who we are as an institution. We are Catholic, Vincentian, Metropolitan, and Global. So at St. John's, a little under 50% of all of our students do identify as Catholic. However, we do have a strong population of students that do not identify with our Catholic tradition, ranging from students that identify as Christian, Muslim, Jewish, as well as non-believers. So no need to be worried. You're not going to be required to take Mass or anything of that nature. We're Vincentian, so that really means that we follow the teachings of St. Vincent de Paul. So really giving back to those that are underserved and underprivileged, a lot of opportunities to participate in both domestic and international service opportunities. So if you are a student at the high school level that identify with community service, you can definitely continue those efforts here at St. John's as an undergraduate student. We are in a metropolitan area. So coming to New York City I always like to tell students your internship opportunities are endless. Our students don't only participate in internships during the summer, our students actually take a full course load of courses in addition to an internship. So you really have a lot of opportunities to connect with our alumni network and actually gain that internship opportunity. And then lastly, we are a global institution. So if studying abroad is at the top of your list and a priority, we do offer that opportunity at St. John's. So a little bit about our locations. So here in New York City, we have 3 locations. Our main campus is located in the borough of Queens. We are in Fresh Meadows to be exact, so it is a residential area. It's also gated. So unlike other institutions that you may visit in New York City, ours is a little bit more gated. So of course, what comes with that is the safety as a priority of our campus. We also have a remote satellite campus in Staten Island, and then a business school, 3-story building in Lower Manhattan. And if you're interested in studying abroad, we do have 3 campuses that are standalone in Europe, and that includes Rome, Paris, and Limerick, Ireland. I actually visited our Paris campus prior to the pandemic, so if you have any questions regarding studying abroad, do not hesitate to ask that. We are also accessible via various different subway lines in New York City. So we are a medium private-sized institution, so a little over 17,000 students currently enrolled. However, our classroom size still remains quite intimate. Our average classroom size is 25 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 17:1. We do not have any TAs or GAs, so you're always going to be taught by an experienced faculty member that is relative to that field. We are a very diverse institution. Not only is Queens the most diverse city in the US, at St. John's, we really do have that representation on our student campus as well. The demographic consists of 47 out of the 123 states and countries represented on the campus. We're also D1 in sports. So if you are a student athlete that is interested in participating in collegiate sports at the D1 level, we have 17 programs to choose from. I always tell students we're located in New York City, so unfortunately no football or water sports. But if you're interested in basketball, we have a great team, as well as some other sports that we do really well at St. John's. A lot of clubs and organizations to choose from, over 180 that currently exist. If you're interested in a particular area and would like to create a student organization group on campus, it typically only takes yourself and 2 other students to get that group up and running. Lastly, our alumni network is over 190,000 strong. So this really attests to our students that have gone on to graduate and do great things, their commitment to ensuring that our current and prospective students also have endless opportunities. Often our alumni allow opportunities for our prospective students and incoming students to actually do internships with them. So a lot of mentorship opportunities if that's something you're interested in. We have over 100 programs to choose from. This is just an overview of the programs that we offer. Our most popular, most competitive program remains our 6-year Doctor of Pharmacy program. School of Education is very strong on campus, Homeland Security, Cybersecurity. So I always say we do everything quite well. We are a STEM institution with the exception of engineering. Set aside from that, a lot of programs to choose from. Students can apply directly into their program of choice, so no need to come in undecided. You can actually apply to that major as a high school senior. So life on campus, we do offer housing for students. More than 50% of all of our first-year students actually live on campus. These are some shots of our dorms. They are apartment style and suite style, so no communal bathrooms. You're not going to be required to use that bathroom at the end of the hall and share it with another student. All of our first year students are also allowed to have a car on campus their first year. These are some photos of various different events we've had on campus. Some of our top internships and employers. And then lastly, how to apply to the university. We are on the Common App as well as the St. John's University application. We are 100% test optional with the exception of our bio-DO and biooptometry program. We also have a law school on campus as well as a dual degree option where students can receive undergrad and graduate degrees in law. And then lastly, we are having our open house on Staten Island campus this Saturday, October the 16th and November the 13th out in Queens. I will also put my contact information in the chat. Thank you.
Thank Thank you for that presentation. Up next, we have Bucknell University.
Hi, everybody. Just before I get started, I'm going to put some information in the chat along with a registration link. So if you'd like to go ahead and register for the visit, please know that you can do that. And I will get started. Hopefully you all can see that. My name is Ashley. I am an admissions counselor at Bucknell. I've been at Bucknell now for about 2 years. And as you can imagine, what a crazy 2 years it has been for me. We'll start with location. We are located in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, really centrally located, rural area. It's a beautiful quintessential college town. We are situated along the banks of the Susquehanna River. So when you think of Bucknell, you think of all things outdoors. You're biking, you're hiking, you're camping, you're canoeing, and everything is right there for you, right around campus. We are, like I like to call, a 3-for-1. So we are a liberal arts institution that kind of sits at this intersection of 3 distinct colleges. We're arts and sciences, engineering, and the Freeman College of Management. So what does that mean for you all as a student? That sort of means that no matter where your area of study is, you'll benefit from this broad range of majors offered across the 3 colleges, making everything you do very customizable. As you can see here, we have 65 majors for you to choose from and over 70 minors. Again, allowing you to kind of pick and choose where your interests fall and how you would like to see your education. We are a small Division I school, so we host at any given time around 3,600 students on our campus, relatively small. But we like to say we like to keep that small for good reason. We don't want you to become just another face in the crowd. Our professors really pride themselves on getting to know you and who you are. They want to have a hand in your education and they want to see you succeed. So some of the ways we do that and make and maintain those relationships over 4 years are keeping our average class sizes relatively small, around 20. A couple other factors that go into that is our small student to faculty ratio. So 9-to-1, again, relatively small for a Division I university. And the final way we like to say we like to build those relationships is the fact that 100% of our classes are all taught by our faculty. No TAs, no graduate assistants are out there teaching our courses. They are 100% taught by our faculty on Bucknell's campus. We also allow students to study abroad. This is something that's pretty exciting, and I think students are going to want to get back out there and do. As you can see, about 50% of our students decide to study abroad. It is not something that you have to do. You are not required to do it, but we have 450 partnerships all over the world, anywhere from Ghana to France to London to Costa Rica and everything in between. The one really cool thing is because of these partnerships, you are able to go away, continue on your educational path, and bring back everything you study right back with you to Bucknell. So there's never any wasting time where you're away. Everything comes back to you. All credits come back with you from wherever you decide to study. We are a residential campus, which means you are guaranteed housing all 4 years if you so choose, with the option to go off of campus your senior year. Options for you include regular dorms, suite style, apartment style. We have little modular buildings, homes on campus, as well as little bungalows right on campus as well. And obviously with the option to go off campus your senior year, we are located on 450 acres and everything is quite condensed. So maybe from campus to town is about a 7 to 10 minute walk. So there's often a fine line between where campus ends and where town starts. As I mentioned, we are a Division I school hosting 27 Division I sports teams, 14 women, 13 men. If Division I sports and athletics is not your thing, that's okay. We have over 250 clubs and organizations for you to be a part of right on Bucknell's campus. Anything from religious life all the way up into cornhole, which was just added not too long ago. There's tournaments that happen every weekend. So know that there is something for you. And on top of that, we also have Greek life. About 50% of our students decide to participate in Greek life. Is it a part of who Bucknell is? Absolutely. Does it define a student? No. One really cool thing about Bucknell is that we have a delayed recruitment system. So that delayed recruitment system allows you to come in as a first year, kind of get your feet wet, see what areas and aspects of Bucknell you like, what you want to be a part of, and maybe what you don't. So then by sophomore year, you're ready to hop into Greek life if that's something you choose. And again, about 50% of our students decide to hop in there. I'll leave my contact information up there for just a second, but thanks for kind of spending a little bit of time with all of us tonight. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to put them in the chat for me.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Our final institution for this session is Pennsylvania College of Technology.
There we go. Now I'm unmuted. Thank you, everyone. My name is Bryce Winder, and I'm one of the admissions counselors at Pennsylvania College of Technology, located in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. If you're unfamiliar with the school, we are a Penn State Special Mission affiliate that really focuses on hands-on applied technology education. So everything you see at our school is really lab-based component of education. So we'll dive a little bit more into the school itself here. So we do have over 100 different diverse majors, and I'll touch on that here in the next slide. But that ranges anywhere from construction to automotive, to business, arts and sciences. Like I said, I'll touch on that here in a little bit. But the big thing that we really pride ourselves on here at Penn College is that we do have a 96.2% graduate placement rate. Our students, they're really in need. We have hundreds of employers that come to campus every spring and fall for our job fair. We actually just had one this past week, and I cannot tell you how many employers are looking for our students. There's such a demand for it, and we're really giving students quite a good opportunity, not only to get a good education, but to also then ultimately get that dream job that they're looking for. We do have over 150 plus learning labs here on campus. They are constantly being redone and renovated so that our students can learn in the best environment possible. Our welding lab just got renovated a couple of years ago, and now we have the biggest welding facility in North America for education, which is pretty exciting. Our physician assistant program is getting ready to have a big renovation done, about $1.5 million here coming up, as well as our HVAC labs. So that's something we're also excited about. And then our average class size is about 16 students. So you're really going to get that one-on-one time with your faculty members. Not only are they going to know you, on a personal level, but they're really going to get to know, what's good for you learning wise, what's not good, and interact with you on that phase as well. So our 100 programs, they are divided into 3 different academic schools. So first we have the School of Business, Arts and Sciences. Some of the programs you'll find in there are our baking program, culinary, business program, our graphic design program, human services, and restorative justice, just to name a few examples for you. Next, we have our School of Engineering Technologies. This has over 60 different programs in it, anywhere from HVAC to we have construction, automotive, architecture's in there, heavy machine operator, all of those. So really any sort of program that has some sort of engineering component to it is going to be found in the School of Engineering Technologies. And then finally, we have our School of Nursing and Health Sciences. We have all of our nursing programs there, our dental hygiene program, physician assistant, physical therapist assistant, just to name a few for you. As I said, we do have over 100 programs. Obviously, we're not going to get to those all in 6 minutes, but I always encourage students to check out our program finder tool online, because it's going to give you a chance to take a look at the program, take a look at the classes you'd be taking, and really get a good feel for if it's going to be a good fit for you. Student life here on campus, we do have about 4,500 students, so we're a nice small to medium-sized school. Like I said, we are located in Williamsport, so there's a ton of good little nature areas nearby. We have beautiful on-campus living as well as dining facilities. Students can have suite style living, or they can have apartment style living as a first-year student. And we also have parking as well, which is nice for our students. In addition to that, we have clubs and organizations on campus. We have athletics on campus at the D3 level. We have a career center that's really great. Disability and access resources, that's great. Lots of scholarship opportunities. So ultimately, what is really nice is you're really going to get a traditional college experience here at Penn College. It's just going to focus more in hands-on applied technology education. If you're unfamiliar with Williamsport, we are located a couple hours away from you, but we're right up the road. I promise it's really easy to get to us. But we have, like I said, a lot of good nature spots that you can check out around campus. We have a community arts center downtown, which is really good if you're looking to catch a show or a concert, stuff like that. We also have a lot of good local shops and restaurants that are really nice to go to. You can walk right downtown Williamsport from campus to access that. Little League World Series is right in town. That's always happening when students first move in. And then also we're only located a couple hours away from major metropolitan cities such as Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York City, just to name a few. That's really nice because when you're looking for a job, you can put your name in all those different markets. But then ultimately, if you want to take a day trip with friends, you can also do that as well. So Williamsport's a really great location to really, have a good college experience. We do have a lot of great alumni success here. We've had people work for Amazon. We've had people work for Tesla, John Deere. We've had students win Chopped before. We've had students start their own businesses. Our alumni network has over 60,000 students in it. So really, you name it, we've probably had a student that's worked there before. So we are open enrolling admissions here at Penn College. We have a free application fee. So really the first step, if you're interested, would be completing that application. The second step would be submitting your materials. And then the third step would be meeting placement requirements. You can complete the application either online or through the Common app. The most important part is if you have any questions to reach out to us. I'm one of the admissions counselors, but we have a large team here at Penn College ready to help you out. Most importantly, if you're interested, you definitely want to check out our visit opportunities. You can do a self-scheduled appointment. You can do a general campus tour, a self-scheduled personal tour, or we do have a couple open houses left. We have one coming up next Saturday. We have one in Saturday in November, and then we have another Friday one in November as well. And you can check out our visit page if you are interested in that. And I will make sure to drop our information in the chat as well. So thank you, and hopefully we see you on campus soon.
Thank you so much for your presentation. We do have a few minutes left in our programming today, so I'm going to bring back all of our reps to answer a question for you guys. So let me share my screen. So the question they will be answering is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go in presentation order. So I'm going to have Lafayette College go first.
My answer might be cliche, but the first piece of advice that I would give was try not to stress. It's definitely an opportunity for you to learn, explore, and find what fits you best. The most practical piece of advice that I can give is adhere to deadlines. It makes it simple for us, easier for us, but it also relieves a lot of stress on your end, knowing that you can get things done on time. And it's helpful for when we're doing reviews such as financial aid reviews or reviewing for merit-based scholarship, things like that. That's more general. So have fun with it. Try not to stress as much, and then make sure you do stuff on time. I try to give the two ends of the perspective to be as practical and frank as possible.
Widener University.
So my advice for students would be not to be afraid to ask any questions. Each of your assigned admission counselors or your student tour guide for when you are visiting have been through the college search process that you are going through. So no question is a dumb one. So you're there to figure out if the school is the right fit for you. So feel free to ask any question and all questions. And that would be my piece of advice.
University of Tampa.
Thank you. My piece of advice for anyone going through the college admission process would be to create a spreadsheet. I know many people are looking at different options for schools, and I think that it's really great if you create a spreadsheet so that way you can keep track of where you are with your applications, whether it's you submitting your essay, where have you made your deposit or your payment for your applications, etc. But I found for myself that that was really helpful, and it allowed me to keep track of all of my deadlines. So don't be afraid to create a spreadsheet to keep track of all of your application materials.
St. John's University.
Okay, so I guess I have two kind of words of advice. One would be not to put all your eggs in one basket. So when looking at colleges and submitting applications, make sure you have a diverse, group of different colleges and institutions that you're considering. And then the second part of advice would be is not to let one particular college's sticker price deter you from applying. So even though a school may be out of reach or not affordable, just wait until you apply, see what type of merit aid you qualify for, as well as completing your FAFSA to best determine what your out of pocket expense would be.
Bucknell University?
Sure. So I think my best advice to give to students is start early. Do your research, contact your admissions rep, which one of my colleagues had already said, but that's definitely important. Get the questions out there that you want answered to your rep. Another big one is definitely do the work. Don't let your parents do the work. We can definitely tell, and ignore all the noise and chatter and find what's right for you.
And Pennsylvania College of Technology?
I would definitely say take advantage of all visit opportunities for campuses. You know, you can do a lot of research and such, but it's really hard to see if it feels like home for you unless you actually, you know, get to campus, and maybe you can't physically get there now. So even taking advantage of virtual opportunities, any virtual sessions are great, but really getting on campus, making sure it's a good fit for you and that you're going to feel like home for the next couple of years is really important.
Thank you everyone for those great pieces of advice. We have come to the end of our programming, so thank you everyone for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback you can provide to us. And as I mentioned earlier, we did record this session, so you feel free to go back out to strivescan.com/middlesex to review this session or any other sessions that happened tonight. Again, thank you again for joining us, and have a great evening.